Hello everybody, we are back with part 2 of Eidolon. I still feel like I'm not saying that right. So, I'm recording this directly after recording first, simply because I am really digging this game. Now, I've also turned up the volume just a little bit more, so you might hear more music, which is great because the music is beautiful. If it's too loud, I'll just turn it down a little bit more. You never really can get a great balance between them, can you? I feel like I never do get a good balance. It's either too quiet, too much, or, you know, the voice is too quiet or too much. Stuff like that. So, I guess we'll find out, and I'll do some editing if it's not up to my liking. But I can definitely hear the music myself, which is great. I'm all about experiences. I love to experience the music. And now it's dead silence, so we can experience dead silence with the rain. Let's go check out that shiny on the edge of the hill. Oh god, I thought I almost fell. Oh, if you don't remember, I got binoculars last time. Now where did it go? There it is. Campsites. Huh. Page 1. This must be a page from my book or something. So last time we sort of wandered around this whole area and we finally got to the creepy electrical towers that don't actually have any power. I think I want to try to get to these weird shinies. Well, there's also some shinies over here too. Olympia, I believe. I want to investigate these shinies, but which? I don't know how far north I am. Which would be better to go? This one is more northwest. Could look for it towards the northwest. Unless those shinies are actually the swamp where all my wounds had been healed. Okay, y'all, so I think we're gonna rest a second and then when we wake up we're going to, you know, decide which way we want to go. So I want to know what these little shinies are. Ever the mutable, ever materials changing, crumbling, recohering, ever the outer layers, the factories divine, issuing Eidolons. Makes me curious what exactly Eidolon is supposed to be. Of course, I did look up the definition, which I, told you guys before we started, but doesn't necessarily mean it couldn't be something else in game. So I got these guys. Let's see. So that's north. That way is east. North. East. So no matter which way we go, as long as we follow these. But if we went west, we might be able to go that way. I wish you could mark things off. Oh, you can click on it. What's this button? Maybe we should go north just to see what this is. And then we could always circle back around and go up here, maybe, or you know what? I think I just want to keep following these creepy doodads northeast. That's what I want to do. I'm going to offer you a moment of solitude to enjoy the journey. You know, unless something really wicked comes up, and then I'm going to be chattering. Alright, just kick back, enjoy the ride. Okay, everybody, I think we're gonna make a short pit stop and know where we are on the map because of that beautiful landmark right there. So I suggest we check this out, because what is that thing? It's a tree. It's supposed to be a tree, and it looks like a weird glitchy rock from a distance. Well, that's okay. I mean, this weird little marshland looks pretty interesting too. What, like, these things? What are those? Dead trees? Strange. You know, they don't really look like trees. I'm wondering if they're just the foundation of buildings that used to be here. Surprised I haven't found a shiny here. Seems like the place that you would find one. There's one right there. Oh dear, that is. Oh, look at that! Lots of little bits. Now this is a little much for me to read out loud, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I want to read it. James Monica III, 45, of Port Angeles, passed away September 2052. James came from a family with a rich history of power and influence in the Pacific Northwest, and with the influence and power of his family, James was a positive force in his community and in the lives of everyone he met. Immediately following the Great Quake, a 24-year-old James jumped headfirst into the relief and recovery effort. Then in the months that followed, he established a company to oversee housing and job relief for survivors. And in the years after, James worked extensively to rebuild and relocate the displaced. He is still remembered in the thoughts and prayers of the countless families he has helped. In the decade following the Great Quake, James worked tirelessly to rebuild and expand homes, businesses, communities of Port Angeles. His company's energies also expanded into projects such as building the national image of Port Angeles and reaching out to Senon in an effort to attract them to settle in Port Angeles. After the beacons were installed, the people of Port Angeles began a prolonged migration. Meanwhile, James left to join the brilliant minds gathered in Bellevue. James spent several years in Bellevue, then suddenly dropped off the grid. No one really knows why he left or where exactly he went, but it was clear when he returned to Bellevue a month later that he had spent time outside of the beacons. James came back changed, and not just from the true light withdrawal. He was withdrawing from his colleagues and seemed to be sinking into a depression. James was also stubbornly unwilling to discuss where he had gone, and as it became clear that his true light withdrawal had led to fatal damage to his body, James began to engage in deranged behavior. He talked without seeing his estranged wife again, and moved back to Port Angeles. His condition continued to deteriorate until he finally passed away. The funeral of James Monica III was attended by thousands who still remember all the good he had done. He will also be remembered as one of the few people who have died while residing in a beacon city. James is survived by his brother and his estranged wife. True to his character, James divided his estate equally between his brother, wife, and the Radiant Future Foundation. In accordance with his last wishes, James will be laid to rest in his old home in Port Angeles. James' brother has stated that he intends to erect a monument over James' grave which will look over the city. Is this not the site of the earthquake already? So, that has some dangerous implications for us, doesn't it? Like, why are we out here? Are we going to slowly succumb to an illness caused by being away from the beacons. I mean, there's already something, where is it? Here. It says something like that. Right here. But that does just make me wonder if the beacons reverse the human, well, not just the human condition, the condition of all living things to die, and just to be away from them, put you back into your natural state of continuous decay. There's another shiny over there. I met a seer, passing the hues and objects of the world, the fields of art and learning, pleasure sense to glean Eidolons. Okay. I think we're done with our pit stop. Let's head back to the electrical towers and keep going that way to find the other place I wanted to check out. And then after that, I think we should follow our little sparklies again and see where those lead us next. Oh, I guess I've got a bow and arrow now. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Can I not do this? Let me pick it back up. Nope. Probably have endless arrows. Oh, I see another. Looks like we might be coming out of the forest finally. It's been a very long time in there. Do I have like diarrhea or something? That would not be ideal. Oh. Oh, okay, are we... Surely not. I think I just clipped through the game a little bit. Oof. Ooh. That's alright. It was a cheap game. It's okay. I'm not complaining. So, here's a road. I thought that would... This must be the road, but I'm awful far from the road. I've been going east the whole time. I guess these are supposed to be the shells of cars. We got any shinies near here? This looks like a very good place to put a shiny. There's one! Hooray! Oh, that's weird. That's really weird. I don't like that. Oh, I don't like how that looks at all. Oh, I wonder, no, that's like that. What is that supposed to be? Creepy is what it is. It's creepy. Okay, now, where was that shiny? Somewhere that way. Probably easier to see in the dark. There's a bear. 11th November 2070. Well, thinking I'll live following the roughest couple of months of my life. Sickness is definitely not foreign to me anymore. Kind of proud after all those years obsessing over it. Looks like people were wrong, though. That's how I spell though, too. Looks like I've survived beacon withdrawal. Probably helps that I'm somewhere in Olympia's fall-off range. Not going cold turkey just yet. Feels nuts being so far from home. Met a couple good folk here in Olympia. Some real forward-thinking people. Death culture's a bit less idiotic here, I think. I blame Bellevue's wall, though it's probably partially my fault too, with all that MH2 BS. Andre. Oh, I think I saw one. Saw something. Can't remember. I know that. I suppose those are supposed to be the skeletons of fallen skyscrapers. So, has anybody here ever played? Am I supposed to be in water? Has anybody played Horizon Zero Dawn? Anybody out there watching? And there's a couple places that are cities, all collapsed and covered in grass. It's like really low poly that. This is very low poly that. March 2071, so a year after that last one. New friends are talking up this place called Old Town. Whispers are going around in their circles, I guess. I'm curious. I'm pretty well convinced that I've weaned myself almost entirely off glow, and that I could actually maybe strike out like I used to dream about. Grow old, die. Andre. Maybe that's what I'm doing. Trying to wean myself off of the new civilization so I can die naturally. I guess most of the people now are you know, they just don't die. Immortal. Sounds about right. Not sure if there's any more shinies here. They'd probably be a lot easier to see in the dark if there were. So many weird noises in this game. Oof. We're going very east right now. There's just more crap everywhere. I think that's where the earthquake was. You can look again. Yeah. Did you hear that? Dogs barking? Let's spend one more day, and then I think that'll be the end of this episode. Is it a mushroom or a shiny? I think it might just be a mushroom. No? Yeah, it's just weird debris. Oh! Got ourselves a still upright skyscraper. Can we trust the Senin? Gregory Gannon. I want to ask something of my fellow Americans and any readers who might be looking at this from another country. Do we trust them? The Senin, I mean. Not to say that they are all godless or immoral, but there is a singular truth we've been avoiding. Why give them so much power? Why worship them? Thrust celebrity upon them? Show deference to them as we pass. I've seen my friends and neighbors cast their eyes down as a Senin passes. Why? At best they are a continuation, an extension of our own humanity, given to all the same brilliance and flaws as us. But all groups exist on a... Oh. Okay. Continuum. They have their brightest pupils, healers, prophets, heroes with names we all recognize. Jamie Fuma, Daika Mori, Abram Usov, but we shun their worst, relegate them to communal forgetting. They might be human, but they aren't people like us, and contain a greater threat than any humanity has dreamed of. Worse than atomic fires, worse than tasks called satellites. We, as Americans, as Europeans, as Japanese, as whatever else, we let them off the hook. So what are we, these people like racist or something? Just last week, Palestine Rowan was convicted of killing 2 people in the bar in Atlanta. She was given 2 years in prison and rushed through her trial, and there was no news stories about any of it. Most people, even in Atlanta, don't know her name. She deserves to be treated with honesty, dignity for those who she hurt. Imagine the message it would send to sentence an immortal to a lifetime in jail. We could stop living in fear. I could sleep again, knowing my neighbors killed in that bar received the justice they deserve. Join me in petitioning President Burkett to act on this. Let the White House keep its promise. Okay. I guess there's a lot of these to explore. Will her eyes be soft and gray? Sarah. The car shudders to a stop outside our building and the door slides open. I study the small bank of cement stairs leading up to the door as Kieran steps out of the passenger seat and offers me his arm, his brown knit and his soft eyes boring a hole into me. I remind myself that it's just concern. I take his arm and heave myself out of the vehicle, then allow him to lead me up the steps and across the threshold. Pauses in the entryway before closing the door, and I watch the car pull down the street and around the corner out of sight. Are you sure you're all right without a wheelchair? He cups my hand in both of his and turns the gentle glow of his gray eyes towards me. It was only Braxton Hicks' contractions. I'll be fine. He stares at me for another moment and lets out a sigh and turns towards the elevator, letting my hands drop to my sides. As long as you're sure. I remind myself that he believes me to be far frailer than I am. He has never quite grasped the fortitude of normals. He extends an arm for me to take, and I accept, throw myself to be led into the elevator. I allow myself. He commands it to take us to our floor. Watch the Capitol wall grow smaller, the shanty houses beyond it blending into a single gray mass, and I wonder if my baby will kill me. Okay, so she's pregnant. Kieran. She is fine, she's gonna be fine, this is my mantra now. How could I be so selfish? The image of her lying on the bathroom tile, sweat droplets clinging to her clammy skin, runs through my mind again and again. I remember the conversation with Dr. Perez and try to reassure myself. Oof, it's a bit long. You can pause here, read the rest of it. I'm gonna skim. So, Saren are born like mutants from the X-Men universe. I still don't really understand what they are. What's so different about them that makes people afraid of them? Are they immortals? Or are they immortals? Like, there's a chance some people will be born not affected by the beacons and are still mortal, maybe? Must be something I'm not quite getting yet. Oh boy, I am not good at reading cursive. I am financially burdened. Grace and Hannah are away at college, and my income, I cannot support them. Says she will never leave me. Oh, Emily says she'll never leave me. I am glad because I think I have lost Grace and Hannah to the world. They never reach out unless it's for their massive school bills. They both went to Bellevue for school because they don't want to leave their beacons. It is odd. I have now lived in the light of the beacon for 7 years and have never become sick, nor has Emily. The ailment that hampered her so much in her childhood is just a memory. Sometimes when she comes home and talks with me, I told you guys I'm not good at cursive. When she talks with me, I must resist the urge to tear up from happiness. I hope one day my other 2 girls will come back to me, but I am unsure. So, all the stuff I'm finding is just bits and pieces from people and from newspapers. So from their journals, from letters, and, like I said, from newspapers. It's very interesting to me, I think. But goodness, is there a lot to explore, and are we slow? All the buildings look the same. I don't know which ones I've already looked around. Maybe I've already explored the whole thing. The sun is going down, and it's going to become increasingly spooky. I think that is going to do it for part 2. We explored quite a bit this time around. I didn't expect to find a fallen city out this way when I decided to follow the electrical towers northeast. So that was a nice surprise. Okay, everybody. Hope you join us for the next part. Have a good evening. See you guys later.